Very interesting European identity, this guy. Very, very big defender of European identity. This fella here. The fate of Western civilization lies in the hands of this guy and this guy. No, wait. No way.
And oh, the game has a lot of attractive women in it.
Smash? Smash? JT stands for jail time, by the way.
Of other games.
No, we are on the human pug side today, okay? We're on the human pug side today. He's in a we're like, this like dog fights, like back alley dog fights, you know. I've got the pug up against, I don't know what this one is. Okay, huge video game drama segment starting now. Okay, guys. Huge things happening. Are we aware of a new video game that just came out called Clair Obscur Expedition 33? Do we know about this? Have we heard about this? It was, honestly, I had written it off. I completely wrote it off. I saw this game like 6 months ago, a year ago, something like that. And I totally wrote it off out of hand. Because I didn't like the graphic style, and it was a French game. And usually, European games are like, it's either like, you know, A Way Out and It Takes Two and that sort of thing. It's either like, some like really limited in scope, but executes well on the premise gimmick game. Or they're Eurojank, which, I mean, I'm sure you guys know the term Eurojank is used for a lot of old European RPG games. Stuff like Gothic and Alec, or Eurojank a lot. I think Gothic's Eurojank. Yeah, Witcher as well. Witcher 3, not so much, but Witcher 1 and 2. Anyway. So I totally wrote it off. I was like, this looks gay because of the art style, and I don't have any hope for any European games. And there is something I want to say about the art style before we get too far into this. And we're going to watch a trailer as well. What is this art style called, guys? It has, like, the same... like, it's like Forspoken. You know Forspoken? That's age restricted. You guys know Forspoken? The Black Girl game? It looks like Forspoken. It looks like, Lies of P. It looks like that Inotria game. It looks like that new DMC clone that's being made by Chinese people, but is like King Arthur retold, basically. You know the one I mean? It looks like... but it's like a really... It's like this... I don't know how to describe it. Yeah, Victorian theme. It's not like Victorian-ish. It's obviously like European, Victorian, that sort of vibe to it. But it's got this weird Korean thing to it. A weird Korean element to it. Do you know what I mean? They all look like Korean. Yeah, it's got that Korean sheen. You know how they all look like KMMOs? All these games, all the games I just named, they all look like KMMOs. Yeah, like Black Desert. And so I literally, if I see a game like that, I'm like so likely to just completely write it off. Can I find the reveal trailer without a fucking age restriction on it? I need to find one of the trailers. This one on GameSpot? Surely. Surely. Whoops.
Product not yet ready.
Yeah, here we go.
Rated.
We'll get to drama. I'm just leading us in, okay? Everybody know what the game is.
Soon she'll wake and paint again. Paint a new number, ticking down every year. One stroke.
So basically the whole setup of this game, right, is that you're in this, like, almost like alt history France, like fantasy alt history France, where the world has been like totally fucked up by this thing appearing called the Paintress, and it like paints a number on this big rock every year, and the number goes down from 100 to 0 theoretically, and each time the number goes down, people of that age die. So basically, there's no one older than whatever no one in the world who's older than whatever the current number is on the rock, right? So this was called Expedition 33, and obviously they're the 33rd expedition. No, they're not. They're not the 33rd expedition. How did it work? It's like the first one is Expedition 0, but then they count down after that, don't they? But the first one is Expedition 0. Yeah. So yeah, this is the 67th expedition. But yeah, wait, what was Ryzek saying? Can we talk about how the prologue is peak? Yeah, so this game is like epic. It's like I said, I totally wrote it off. If I'd realized what it was, I might not have. It is like Persona, basically. It's basically Persona, to be honest. Very visually, in terms of the menuing and battle, it's very Persona. Very Persona 5. The gameplay is Persona, but also it's like a little bit of SMT with the turn order stuff, and Mario like RPG elements, where you know how in Mario RPG you have to like time shit in the battles with the attacks. It's also like Sea of Stars. If you played Sea of Stars, it's an indie game that's quite popular last year. Yeah, you have to like parry and dodge, counter, all this shit, jump over attacks, this shit. So you're like, when the enemies attack you, it's not pure turn-based, if you know what I mean. It is turn-based, but you have to do something when it's not your turn, and you have to actually time shit and play. And then there's like QTEs on your abilities as well. And if you get the QTE right, you get more damage. And so if I'd realized it was like that, I might have been a bit more interested, but I didn't realize that at all.
And everyone of that age vanishes into nothingness. Every year she paints again. And every year, an expedition departs for the continent with one hopeless mission. Destroy the Paintress, so she can never paint death again. We'll break the cycle, so she can't steal anyone else's future.
This world is full of wonders. Yet
I actually almost don't even want to watch too much of this because I am worried about like seeing bits of the game that I haven't gone to yet. And I'm really enjoying it. I just got to the Gestrel village. You guys know that? Well, I didn't even get there yet. I'm in the maze. The voice acting isn't corny. The voice acting is actually really good.
The Paintress, so she can never paint death again.
I understand it sounds a bit corny in the trailer here, but in game, all the acting is really good. The facial animations are a little odd sometimes, like it's a little off sometimes. But also, I'm impressed with how, for like a European studio, assuming they have like crazy money. Yeah, it's like amazing. It's like watching a fucking movie, you know? All the cutscenes are so fucking good. Dude, there is like, oh man. How much spoiling can we do? I don't want to say too much, but you guys know at the end of the prologue, when you go on the expedition. Okay, I'm going to disappear the Quiggler. If you really don't want to hear a spoiler here, wait until the Quiggler appears on screen again, okay? Just, wait 1 minute. So, okay, spoiler. Guys, that scene, the landing scene, where you fucking land, and the monsters start fucking attacking, and then there's like, I don't know if it's old Gustav or if it's a different guy. They look kind of similar, so like that's like, I don't know if that's what they're going for, or if it's just like literally some old guy for a previous expedition, that you don't know what the point is. But When he fucking shows up and he's just fucking murking everyone on the beach, that shit goes so fucking hard. That shit goes so crazy hard. When he's just like fucking slicing people's heads off. Dude, it's fucking awesome. That's such a good scene. It's literally like movies can't even get that good of a scene a lot of the time, you know? Pretty crazy. Anyway, so, okay. Quiggler's back. No more spoiling. But yeah, that shit's awesome. So anyway, there's a bunch of fighting about this game. Anyone with any sense who's played this game can look at it and go, this is a fucking amazing game. It's like, it is... It's an FRPG. It's not... It is just like a JRPG made by French people. And it kind of blows a lot of JRPGs out of the fucking water so far. Not gonna lie. The prologue rapes all the Persona prologues. It rapes all the JRPG prologues I've played. It tells like a good, like, a self-contained story almost, where you get a, you know, that there is a little, it's like a little small arc of like you figuring stuff out and getting introduced to the world. And it makes you care about the characters. And it's like, it's so good at setting up just like the lore and the world building. There's so much cool stuff. Like, it's one of the few times where I've been in a JRPG and I haven't just been bolting for the end of the intro, you know. If I booted up Persona, I would just bolt straight for the end of the intro. Just try and get out of there as quick as possible. With this, I was like going around. I wanted to do every little side thing, every fight, find every little item. It's just, it is blowing JRPGs out of the water for me right now. And I like I like my JRPGs, but this has hooked me way harder than Metaphor did. Metaphor I like dropped pretty quick and was struggling to get into. I still want to finish it at some point, but it is just like, it does not hit quite like this hits as quickly. Yeah, I'm playing on Expert, yeah. Dude, I've literally died so many times playing it. It's fucking crazy. Sometimes you will just get like one shot. You just like seeing you attack. And it's like, I've got no fucking idea what the timing is on this. And then you get completely raped. Expert mode kind of contradicts most of the healing mechanics. What do you mean? Like, as in you get one shot too quick. How far in are you? I feel like by the time you're at the Gestral zone, it starts getting a little bit better. I felt like it started getting better at this point with the one-shotting. Like, I was fighting Zone earlier, and I was doing like the, you know, I was setting them on fire with. Yeah, it's just like the combos are sick too. Like the combat rapes Persona combat. Doing like these combos where like you'll have like, so you have like your mage character and they'll set the enemy on fire, and then your next character will have like something that like adds a bunch more fire stacks on or weakens them to fire, and then you can use another skill that will like change stance if you hit a burning enemy. And then you get like massive damage. Like, it's just all fucking, it's so epic. It's so sick. It's so well put together. I'm just gushing about this game. I'm glazing this game. It's fucking awesome. But this game being so good is kind of important to the story here. I'm not gonna lie. Because my understanding of where, you know, gamers were at, or well, where I thought we were claiming to be, you know, was, who cares about the politics? Just make good games. However, there's been some disagreement between SmashJT and his friends about this. So we're going to take a look at this. This guy, Yorch. Yorch Torch Games. Now, who is Yorch Torch Games? Now, you would be forgiven for believing, based on this profile picture, that this is some kind of white 6-foot chiseled, you know, Chad. basically. However, I have an image of Yorch here. Not this, not that one. Not that one. But here, this. So this is Yorch. And let's see what Yorch has to say about this game. Gamers. I originally didn't go on a crusade against Expedition 33 because, 1. It's a new IP. The devs didn't hijack an existing one, and it certainly isn't a Concord or even robots featured pronouns. 2. It's not a remaster where Type A/Type B nonsense was injected when previously there was none of that. 3. It's a new studio that hasn't sold its soul to globalist entities like Embracer Group. 4. Kepler Interactive, its publisher, is owned by a group of independent game devs behind games like Seafood. 5. It's not a Doom the Dark Ages, where a feminist company like Microsoft is diluting the existing brand by appealing to the Pedro Pascal Disney Marvel audience. 6. It's not a Compulsion Games or Obsidian. Once revered studios have been corrupted beyond redemption by DEI and feminist initiatives sponsored by Microsoft. However, the tone of the DEI inclusions in the game is antagonistic towards French and European identity. Very interesting European identity, this guy. Very, very big defender of European identity, this fella here. I can't continue spreading a coherent message if I don't call it out. Many won't agree with this, but we can't keep tolerating every single disrespect to Western identity in the form of alternate worlds. If you want to do an alternate world, don't use La Tour de Eiffel or L'Arc de Triomphe as your setting. I need to turn it into South of Midnight. Do we know what South of Midnight is? So he's comparing it to this. So there's like, I guess there's like 2 black people in the game. And one of them goes the way of most black characters.
There's a fine line between mercy and
but apparently
justice.
it's like
Ain't that
this.
right, Hazel Flood? You chose a hard road for yourself.
Hazel, please, it isn't safe.
We got a
Apparently this is the same. It's the same thing. This is like a game that is like, this is Alice in Wonderland retold through Latin American folklore or something, basically.
I'm always fast enough.
Yeah, this apparently this game is actually not too bad. Apparently it's like pretty cookie cutter and like, you know, there's nothing crazy interesting about it, but apparently the story's really good and all the art is like fucking awesome.
What the? This ain't even the weirdest thing I've seen today.
Like the art is really good. You actually cannot
I'm seeing these
fault
things.
the design
you can
here.
see strands. And now you're looking for a creature. You're a weaver.
It looks like almost like a, am I thinking like Tim Burton? It's almost like a Tim Burton movie, or who did the Coraline? Who did Coraline? Like one of those movies, you know what I mean?
Hello?
Yeah, like
There's
very stop
something
motion.
big out there.
Take this and go find your mama.
I'll come back.
You better. I gotta know how this tale of Hazel ends.
It doesn't look cool, but it's obviously not the same as fucking Expedition 33. That's just like totally upset, like turned it into South of Midnight. What do you mean? It is alt history. If you mean it's like alt history with some like folklore elements, sure, yeah. Or alternate world. This isn't even really alt history. This one, but That's like the only other. There's no. Where are all the black people in Expedition 33? I wouldn't say that Expedition 33 art direction is unparalleled. I wouldn't say that at all. I would not say that. It's really good, but it does have that KMMO sheen to it. It isn't quite right. I'm not quite fully bought into it. It's a little generic in places. I feel like the music's the same. The art and music in Expedition 33 ranges quite a lot. There are like some moments where I'm just like, what is this music right now? This is retarded. And then there are moments where I'm like, oh fuck, this fucking bangs. It's the same with the graphics. Anyway, yeah. So I don't understand how in any way you can compare it to South of Midnight. Expedition 33 is no better in that regard than woke slop like Bridgerton. What even is Bridgerton, man? I thought I've heard this before. What the fuck is Bridgerton? During the Regency era in England, 8 close-knit siblings of the powerful Bridgerton family attempt to find love, and it's about some fat girl, I guess. Yeah, okay. Okay. It's like nothing like that whatsoever. What are you even talking? Like, this is the most schizophrenic analysis of all time. They made the Queen black. So what is the woke argument about Expedition 33 other than there being a couple of black characters? The game is beautiful. Its art direction is breathtaking. It is definitely a promising future for Western development, but the sneaky DEI pandering ruins the experience. DEI destroys everything. Western gaming deserves respect. European history deserves respect. Western civilization deserves respect. Gustavus Soy. Yeah, I saw that there was that tweet you shared with us, guys, complaining about the fact that Gustav is conflicted. I'm not that far through the game, and he's already started getting his... Like, you know, he already seems less conflicted. Like, that part of his character is already... He's already smoothing that over. I mean, it may come back and stuff later in the game, but... It's not like the whole game is just him being paralyzed with, I don't know what I should do. So here's SmashJT. And if you need a reminder, guys, so... Western civilization... Western culture, European history... is now in the hands... of this guy and this guy. Alright? So this is... the fate of Western civilization lies in the hands of this guy and this guy. White identity cannot continue without these brave soldiers. They look the same. So, SmashJT responds here. I'm more and more glad I've distanced myself from you with each passing day. So, not gonna lie, I hate SmashJT. I fucking hate this guy. Gotta respect him on this one. But this has started. SmashJT is posting. He's posting videos. He's posting crazy about this topic. So let's have a look at some of his. So first of all, we've got an 11-minute video. Expedition 33 just shocked the world. Game of the Year 2025. Let's see this.
It's been a long time.
So this honestly might be literally like the only time I ever just like full-throatedly agree with SmashJT.
Since I played a game that hooked me as hard.
Also, I want to point out that like there is a huge, it's like unspoken right now, but there is a huge discrepancy between, a huge divide between like drone, slop consuming, brain dead fucking losers who are like totally bought in to the Oblivion remaster that isn't really that good. It is just Oblivion in Unreal Engine 5. It does just look like every Unreal Engine 5 game. And people who are spending time with Expedition 33. People who are putting their time into a new experience. Something they haven't played before. Yeah, I'm playing Oblivion, okay? I'm playing a little bit of Oblivion on the side. But it's like, it's purely like I'm totally, like, Marvel Rivals is my sweating game right now. If I'm on and I want to play a video game and I want to try hard, I'm playing Marvel Rivals. If I'm like in the middle, I want something to challenge me, but I don't want to sweat like crazy, I want Expedition 33. Only if I am like falling asleep at my desk and I'm just like literally listening to shit and mentally AFKing while I boot up Oblivion and like wander around and fucking kill shit and do little quests and shit. Only then am I booting up Oblivion right now. The idea that you're like, oh my god, Oblivion, oh my god, Oblivion, I hate to play Oblivion, oh my god, Oblivion's so good. Dude, it's a fucking 20-year-old game, and it wasn't even that good when it came out.
As Expedition 33 did in the first few minutes of the opening scenes and grabbed me and pulled me along the way for the first hour and a half or so of playing through this game. And holy crap, I can't wait to get back to it. And I did not expect any of this. What's going on, guys? Welcome to another episode of SmashJT. For those of you who have been paying attention to the new games that are coming out, Clair Obscur Expedition 33 may have been on your radar. You might have even seen a trailer for it. Hell, if you're like me...
Also, everyone keeps thirsting over the 16-year-old girl in this game on Twitter. It is very unnerving, I gotta be real. She is presented as you're like... She's like your almost surrogate kid, basically. Your adopted kid.
You might have done a little bit more investigating, but didn't want to find out too much about it because you wanted to be surprised when you started playing it. And holy crap, nothing could have prepared me for just how...
It's like the Futaba people in Persona. You know, Futaba enjoys in Persona 5. It's like, there's something wrong with you, buddy. There's something wrong with you, okay? Can we be real here?
Amazing this game really is. Hit that subscribe, give me a like, and check out SmashJT.com for the full article breaking down Expedition 33 and how this game might already be Game of the Year material, and it earns that praise in the first couple hours of playing it. This is what it's all about.
That's very true. SmashJT with the absolute W take. This is like one of the best prologues in gaming, to be honest. One of the best prologues ever put into a video game.
About when it comes to the world of gaming. I'm not going to mince words either. Clair Obscur Expedition 33 is legit one of the most captivating RPGs I've played in recent memory, and it all starts with an incredibly gripping introduction. Before I even had time to check my phone or wondering what buttons to open up the menu,
Good stuff, the professional.
the game was drawing me in with grace and elegance that immediately hooked me. No bloated cinematics or spoon-fed lore dumps that you just didn't care about. It was more, hey, here's this amazing world that looks incredible with fantastic graphics, beautiful women, and an interesting place to look around and explore. And I'm like, hey, sure, I'll dive in and find out more about this. And the game slowly introduces you to the storyline, eases you into it to the point of you wanting to find out more about it. And all too often, I find games these days are info dumping at the very beginning before you even start to move your character. Games get caught up in this try hard, oh, here's all the lore of everything that we have to throw at you. Please play the game and like it because here's this big storyline we thought up. And
dude, here's the other thing about this game. This is like one of the... I haven't... Where is the parkour challenge for the swimsuits? I must have missed it. I haven't seen that. I got the mime outfit for Luna. One thing about this game is it does a really good job of making you want to do like the collectibles and optional shit. You know? In most games, like I would never even think of fucking going around and trying to look for the audio logs. I would never look for audio logs in a normal game. In this game, I'm like, oh, expedition journals? Oh boy, soy, bing bing wahoo, give me my expedition journals. Poggies, expedition journals. I literally was thinking about this last night.
Bare feet
I was like switching through the characters and just like being like, oh, which run animation do I like most? I'm like, oh, what? This character floats and puts her bare feet pointing directly towards the camera. There's going to be a lot of people using this character as their main overworld character.
You need to pay attention and watch this movie forever. And then at some point, maybe there'll be a game at the end of the road here, but we don't really know because we just want to throw our movie at you. And that's how games are supposed to be made, right? I mean, lately, that's kind of what it's felt like. Developers forget that gamers don't by default care about the world that they create. It is their responsibility as the developer to create a world to engage the player and make the player want to care about, not the other way around. Make me care about this world by letting me enjoy the game experience and want to learn more about it. And I apologize for that long-winded rant of frustration that I have right now with the game industry and how they're pushing specifically RPGs, but in a weird way, it feels like it's kind of bleeding over into action-adventure games as well, where they forget to put the game first and the movies second to draw you into the world. And I feel like that's really important to call out in a situation where you see it being done right. Expedition 33 does this perfectly. And speaking of perfect, holy crap, it has been a while since I heard music this amazing. I'm already putting this
the
game...
music, the peaks are really high, but there are just a few moments where I'm like, what is the music doing right now? Let's hear some of the music quickly. Oh, not that one. The mime battle theme, this shit goes crazy. This goes crazy. Shit is just so hard,
The
man.
Best Game Music Award goes to Drakengard 3, Nier Gestalt and Nier Automata. Those are SD's clear all else.
Thank you for the $5. Thank you. Dude, yeah, when you're parrying and dodging and shit, this hits so hard. When you're locked in. And then, where's just like the... Yeah, so this one I'm like not so sure about. This one is one of the ones where I'm like, oh, what is the music doing here at the start of this? So this is sort of like, yeah, it's like very stock music. Like, it doesn't... Yeah, this is fight music in this zone for these guys. Glastonbury warm-up DJ-ass music. That might be the craziest description. TBF, this is supposed to be silly fights. They don't feel fucking silly. Dude, this thing's hidden blade move is the cuntiest fucking move in a game like this I've ever seen. It's like...
POV, your sales manager just discovered Canva and this music plays in the monthly sales report video they did.
Thank you for the $5, very true. Yeah, I can't parry it. Where is it? Does it show it here? Most annoying fucking move going. Yeah, so I did not like this music at all. This did not hit for me whatsoever. It's like annoying me a little bit. So I don't want to look at too much. Anyway.
It's #1 best soundtrack of the year.
But the highs on the music are really high. The tracks like that are few and far between from what I've seen so far. So generally the music is good, but it's not quite like in Persona games that all the music hits. There's some that's overused and you get annoyed with, but it all pretty much hits. There's never a song where you're like, oh, for fuck's sake, I fucking hate this song.
So far. I'm not even like an hour into it. I love it. This is amazing.
Like the dude. There's that one Persona track. Is it in Persona 4 or 5 where they giga overuse the No. What is the one in 4? No. Dude, this. Or is it the other one I'm thinking of? It's one of these. It's like a song like this that plays like it plays like way too much. It's like every 5 minutes, and you're like, I fucking get it, man. I fucking get it. It's like so fucking annoying. But the music's fine. It sounds fine. Yeah, Strange Thing. Fuck, you're right. Is that the name of it? No. But yeah, anyway. You know, you've all... Look. You've all played Persona, I'm sure. You know the music I'm talking about. Oh, it's... Yeah. Sure.
This might be some of the best music I've ever heard in a game ever. And I've played a few games in my day. Holy crap, not only is the music perfect, but it matches what's actually happening in the game world one for one, which by default draws you even further into the world and you get lost in this amazing environment. Damn, bro.
Dude, look at SmashJT getting fucking choked up at the gommage scene. This is real though. No, this is real.
I'm here.
Every theme, every...
You're getting choked up in the Mario hat, in the fucking Mario Odyssey hat.
Quiet interlude, every single ambient track feels handcrafted, stirring something inside of you. It elevates every moment, from introspective character scenes to pulse-pounding combat into something unforgettable. And speaking of the combat, that's a whole nother part of the game that is effortlessly flawless when it comes to dodging enemy attacks and then trying to time when you attack them.
The combat is
even
so
though it's
good.
turn-based, it feels far
If you don't, this is literally such a good game to play. If you don't usually like turn-based games, but you've wanted to play JRPGs, this is such a good one to play.
more fluid than that because of the pace of the action and the involvement that you need to have with each battle. Visually, the game is top tier and it is gorgeous, not just in the generic Unreal 5 tech demo way, but in a sense that every frame looks like it was an animated painting. And oh, the game has a lot of attractive women in it too, which obviously doesn't hurt.
No, wait. No way.
And oh, the game has a lot of attractive women in it.
Smash? Smash? Jeff? Jeff? What? Mr. Tanzia? What?
In it too, which obviously doesn't hurt, but that's a detail that's oddly missing from a lot of
JT stands for jail time, by the way.
of other games that are coming out these days. The art direction is perfection, rich and styled with soul, blending surrealism and fantasy to create a world that feels alive, yet dreamlike, and making you want to explore more of it, making you want to know what happens next. And I know it sounds like I'm probably coming across as like a hardcore fanboy of this game, but that's because I am, uninfluenced by any outside entity. Just as a gamer playing this game, I'm like, holy crap, this is exactly what people have been begging for so long. And here it is, and it's time to recognize that. See, I'm not always bad news here. The biggest compliment I can give Clair Obscur Expedition 33 is how it respects your time. While other games out there, specifically the RPG field, bloat themselves with 100+ hours of fluff, this one, as far as I am seeing, reportedly gives a laser-focused 30-hour or so campaign with another 30 hours of meaningful side content if you choose to dive deeper. Nothing about it feels wasted, at least so far, and everything seems like it's perfectly intentional as by design. And again, I'm only about 2 hours in. I played it as soon as it launched on stream last night, and I want to get back to it as soon as possible, but I also wanted to take a minute to record this video and let other people know, like, yeah, trust me, bro, this game is worth it. And when I say worth it, like, for some reason, it's $50 brand new. And on the launch week sale on Steam, it's $45 USD. Compare that to the $60 new games or $70 new games or Switch 2 games that are going to $80. I look at this game and I'm like, look at that. We have games that are coming out brand new that are not just respectful of the time of the player, but respectful of your purse or wallet when you go to purchase the game. And I don't know about you guys, but I feel like that should mean something. As of right now on the Steam charts, it has peaked when it launched late last night at 51,922 people playing this game. And I would imagine, based off of the word of mouth and the time that this game launched, that the opening weekend for this game should actually double those numbers, if not more than that, getting this to the 6 digits of concurrent players, if not well beyond that. For a game that, honestly, I know a lot of people out there were looking forward to this one, but I wasn't really thinking much about it.
I don't know if you guys, there is like an unofficial fix. I don't know how many bugs it fixes, but it fixes any issues with ultra wide, because it does like this like pillar boxing, if you know what I mean, or whatever it's called, where it's like in the middle, where the cutscenes are just like really small in the middle. But you can there is a fix. It changes that, and it turns off the forced like sharpening shit as well.
When it comes up, I'll play it and see what I think about
caps,
it.
cutscene FPS.
And holy crap, was I blown away. And I know we've seen way too many games as of late launch with those jaw-dropping trailers only to collapse under their own ambitions. But Sandfall Interactive, with about 30 devs on board, pulled it off. Grums on X said, hard to believe that this was a team of 30 people, mostly ex-AAA devs who wanted something better. Small teams and AA budgets are where investors should be looking at. The risk is so much more manageable, and returns on risk taken are potentially huge. This isn't just a love letter to classic RPGs, it's a wake-up call to the entire genre. Is anyone out there paying attention? Because the blueprint has been set. You can just look at this game for designing something new, interesting, and a world that draws you into it, as opposed to the generic cookie cutter following the formula of everything else. We have something standing out saying, yep, here we go. This game is exactly what the doctor ordered. Expedition 33 isn't just a contender for Game of the Year. To me, it may already be wearing that crown. And it did before I even got to the first boss fight. And I know what a lot of people are gonna be saying, cool your jets, it's probably not gonna be that good. It might cool down a little bit. Like, let's take this in time and be more level-headed about it, which I understand. But at the same time, I'm excited about getting back to this game, and holy crap, has it blown me away in the first couple hours.
Yeah, so this SmashJT puts up his video, suck off the game, and then there's a wave of SmashJT's collaborators, friends of friends, saying how terrible and woke it is.
Just when you thought...
So, I'll try to keep digging through this. Samful Interactive just saved the entire gaming industry. Let's hear it.
All hope was lost with the entire video game industry going into a death spiral, DEI and checkboxes, and people that had no idea what the hell they were doing when they were putting these games together. Do we get a new developer by the name of Samful Interactive that completely revolutionizes the entire industry? And all it took was a team of 33 very talented developers, many of which used to work at Ubisoft of all places. What's going on, guys? Welcome to another episode of SmashJT. Expedition 33 is taking over the entire gaming world right now, and anyone that I interact with seems to be either playing this on their own free time or live streaming it to their audience, and every single person to a T has said they are loving every moment of it. And that's got to make you think, if this is so universally praised and everyone's thinking the same thing about it, including journalists, by the way, who are all on the same boat with this line of thinking, maybe it's about time we acknowledge the elephant in the room of how to make a successful game. Hit that subscribe, give me a like.
Is this just going to be about mid-sized budgets?
Not being found within those massive corporate
Yep, don't care. Talk about the woke stuff.
Bloat has never been more obvious. Player count of...
Talk about the woke stuff.
Let's be honest, all too often.
Talk about woke politics, SmashJT. Dance monkey. Okay. Negate. What? Okay. Maybe we'll look at that in a minute. Let's look at his live channel. I think he's been talking about it there. Wait, he's turning on Melanie Mac too? Wait. Is this what's happening? Is there like a big divide right now between like anti-woke gaming people who are like, there's like the SmashJT like pure gamergator that wants to just drive out quote unquote politics from gaming. Then there's like the ethno-nationalist sect of like Gamergate types, and then there's like the Christian sect, which is like Melanie Mac. And they're like, I feel like the more full-throated like evangelist for their beliefs, like the Christian types and the ethno-nationalist types, I feel like they're collecting on one side, and the more like OG Gamergate apolitical quote-unquote types are collecting on the other side right now. There's something happening here where I'm seeing more and more fighting between these two groups. Is he A-logging the fuck out of Alana Pierce? What is happening here? Okay, well, this might be a SmashJT catch-up kind of day. Alright, yeah, so here's some of the stuff about Expedition 33. Alright, here's the Yorch stuff. Let's see this.
Demian quote tweeted Yorch and says, dude,
yeah, this is what I was talking about.
Dude, it's not set in the real world. Clair Obscur is inspired by French architecture. It's not literally France. It's called Lumiere. This is what I roll my eyes at.
Well, maybe Lumiere. I assume just based on.
No,
French
it's not.
Lumiere.
It's not French. It's not France.
Okay.
Walk right into that one.
I'm kidding. That's my Boston French accent.
Play the game. You'll hear it said, buddy.
This is what I roll my eyes at, because people will take someone like this that I'm convinced must be an agent of the government who's paid to look like a dumbass on purpose to make Gamergate look stupid, and they'll think anyone who is pro-GG is like this guy when it's just...
Smash Freak is completely unbearable. No, we are on the human pug side today, okay? We're on the human pug side today. We're like, this is like dog fights, like back alley dog fights, you know. I've got the pug up against, I don't know what this one is. Some fucked up little chihuahua. I might pit in pugs against chihuahuas right now in some back alley.
Just him and a few others. There's genuinely no.
I know. Yeah, you're right. Pug against other pug. I'm making little pugs fight each other to the death. They're tearing each other's eyes out. They're pinning each other down and putting pressure on the throat, and then their eyes are popping out. Their throats are collapsing in on themselves. Not even because of the fighting, just because of their genetic deformity. No, I'm talking about pugs right now, of course, not the people on screen. Not either of these guys. These guys aren't genetically fucked up or subhuman in any way, because describing them as such might fall foul of YouTube TOS or even hate speech laws in my country. So I would never compare the genealogy of these men to that of a pug and say that their throats and eyes look like they're in danger of collapsing or popping out.
Besides, you're out of touch. Clair Obscur is not woke. This is just embarrassing. And I personally don't think this guy represents Gamergate or anything like that at all. This is just being stupid. Hell, this is embarrassing, man. Stop. And this is, by the way,
Yorch is a gibbon monkey, not a pug, okay?
You know, Yorch lives for this because this is the bait, and he got a big one. And Demian has 31,000 followers and quote tweets them. And like Cassie says, screenshot it. Don't quote tweet because that's what he wants. Hey, Andy. Go ahead.
Source of Sapien says he might be onto something. And this is what I was going to bring up earlier. Thanks to Elon Musk and the USAID drops, the information we got from the government audit, things to that effect. We did find out USAID was involved in paying actors during Gamergate 1. I don't know that. I'm not going to say that Yorch Torch Gaming and JDA are on government payroll. I don't know. However,
so I'm pretty sure that wasn't during Gamergate 1. I don't think Feminist Frequency and Anita Sarkeesian were getting government money during Gamergate 1. I'm pretty sure they managed to get government money by petitioning off the back of that. And the reason that happened, like, dude, people are just they have such low IQ perspectives on the world. It's so annoying. All of these guys just completely suck. Obviously, there is some element that they're running up against now, by the way, that they're rubbing up against right now, where there is like an extreme, almost ethno-nationalist bent to some gaming politics crossover circles. And that does lead to some radicalization. People do fall into like weird little fucking groups as a result of being in these places. So the government did see, like various different like fucking random bureaucrats that were responsible for assigning bits of money, did see some value in essentially promoting feminism and ideas like this to try and moderate the gaming space and make it a bit less of a breeding ground for like totally socially isolated and radicalized guys. So that obviously there was some utility to that. Now they're always going to take it as like basically the government's trying to control what people like in video games, but that's literally not what it's about at all. It's so retarded to think that's what it's about. It's just about like having more exposure to different ideas and people, so that people are less likely to fall down, you know, what would you say? Not like rabbit holes, but I guess rabbit holes, like pipelines or whatever. It's that whole idea. It's to offset that sort of thing. You're not in dogmatic thinking constantly, that the whole gaming arena isn't taken over by the most extreme right-wing voices.
The potential is not impossible since we have already seen it once. Now, frankly,
I don't believe they are, only because JDA co-opted Comicsgate and they kicked him out. So now he's trying to find another grift.
He co-opted several movements, Comicsgate being one, but yeah.
So at this point, I don't believe he's like a paid actor.
I thought the Feminist Frequency funding was just COVID loans. That might be true about the USAID stuff. I haven't looked into it at all, so I don't know what money they got from USAID. My understanding is that there were a couple of different organizations that got money like that. And also, I think they have received some kind of funding before. And yeah, not to mention, they've literally been like, Anita went to the fucking UN and spoke to some Women's Rights Commission or some shit. Like, there's been, it's not like there's any, it's not like there's no reason or no basis to believe that these feminist initiatives in gaming are approved of by the federal government in some way. I mean, there's even been like a little papers put out, I think. Wasn't there one within like the last year or two that we read that all the Gamergaters are freaking out about? Where basically there was like some federal like paper or report or something that was done that basically said like, yeah, there is utility to putting left, like more liberal political voices in gaming and funding that because of the radicalization issue. Yeah, I'm pretty sure we read that on stream. So there is basis for thinking the governments are doing this sort of thing. But it's like just engaging a bit critically and seeing what's actually going on and what they're actually funding is just like, I wish we could do that, you know? Instead of just assuming that, oh, everything's just a psyop. Everything's trying to psyop me into being gay. That's literally how they see the world. That's how they see things. So the government is just constantly trying to psyop them into being gay by putting more masculine women in their games.
I believe it's more of just like this is his personality and this is what he does to go from grift to grift and just try to find his place in this world.
Yeah, he's that much of a manipulative narcissist that he's just looking for that group that he can
take
control of for his.
They're like Roddy Piper in They Live, except when they put the glasses on, they look at billboard. It just says like "suck cock, be gay," you know, shit like that. It's just like everywhere. That's what it says everywhere they look around.
Own nefarious purposes.
And when it makes guys attractive too. It makes guys when they put on the glasses, it makes guys that can't do them.
Exactly. Now, Yorch Torch, on the other hand, I almost feel like he kind of came out of
Sorry, wait, no, the glasses stop guys looking hot to them. When they put on the glasses, men stop being attractive to them.
Fair.
I thought the same thing. I said it was an AstroTurf account, and I don't remember Hypno agreed or disagreed, but he and I did talk about it. But yeah, he seems like an AstroTurf account.
Yep. And it's just started doing some very popular, easily shared memes and images that I fell for initially too, where I'm like, yeah, I agree with that. And I'll retweet that. Like I followed him. He followed me. I was like, all right, cool. Like whatever. And then this guy started going down that road that I'm like, yeah, no, I ain't following that road, bro. Like, I don't know where you're going, but that's not my direction.
Well, I don't know what yours torch, but JDA literally tweeted at one point, and this is recent, it's in the last few months, that he wants a Christian ethno-state in control of the U.S. government. So he wants to abolish our constitutional republic in lieu or in service of a Christian ethno-state. That is literal bigotry. Again, I hate saying that unironically because of what we all talk about, whatnot, but that is, we also need to separate ourselves, at least in my opinion, from that level of zealotry.
I would 100% agree with that. And some of the things that I've seen JDA specifically say, especially like anti-black, anti-woman, where it's just like a hard line drawn that I'm like, bro, like, I don't know if you're just doing that for bait or if you actually believe that. And I don't know which one's worse. So, but anyways, we have Yorch followed it up with
W Smash.
Andy, thanks so much for giving me more reach. Oh wait, no. Hey Andy.
So if you guys aren't crazy, in deep with all the anti-woke gaming discourse in 2025, you may not know the term modern audience. Okay, so this idea of the modern audience. Do we understand this term when someone says the modern audience? It's like, basically, they've attempted to parody and subvert this term used by journalists, saying like modern audiences want, and like companies, they say modern audiences want, and they basically say that the concept of the modern audience is made up. Those people don't actually exist. There aren't actually people who want manly they them women in their games. It's all made up and it's all Jewish tricks. Is roughly, it's not like quite that, but you know what I mean. That's roughly what they're saying. And now this guy put up a tweet. This Yorch guy did a poll, basically being like, "Oh, do you like Expedition 33?" And if you voted yes, he's like, "You're in the modern audience." It's like really retarded.
Modern audience does exist, and you're part. Look, he wants more engagement bait. That's why you stand for nothing. Bro, this is actually, I gotta be honest, like this is a pro rage bait account. They are pro. Like, that is aggressive, attacking, and confident. Like, nope, I'm right, you're wrong. I don't care how big you are. I'm the
Yeah,
one
I think the
that's-
Yorch guy's just a Twitter guy. I think he might be an ex-game dev or something. He's just like a fucking retard. I mean, he's a fucking retard.
going to be telling you how it is. And Endymion said, I stand for nothing? Bro, you've done nothing for Gamergate.
Oh, it looks like SmashJT's actually fought with them before about Split Fiction. He enjoyed Split Fiction. He was saying they're retarded for it. Okay, well, listen, I do hate SmashJT, and I will never stop hating SmashJT. However, I will say, I'm at least glad that he is one of the through and through Gamergators. You know, he's one of these guys who is just like, yeah, I want good games, and I don't want it to be, you know, excused because it's diverse. I don't want bad games excused because they're diverse. So, fair enough to him. If a game's good and has, like, woke elements, he's still fine with it. He still thinks it's an awesome game as long as it's not, like, changing old stuff.
But make it look terrible. Me and others actually put our livelihoods on the line, which is true, during the height of censorship to fight back against the nonsense.
What have you done for Gamergate? Yeah, he's a I just want a game centrist.
Again, I've openly talked on multiple platforms that I don't like Endymion, so I'm going to say right here now, full support of at least these statements. Like this is an Endymion dub, 100%.
You showed up randomly once. It was cool to talk about it. Don't ever compare what I do to you. You're 100% some shill paid to make GG look bad, or you're an idiot. Either way, you've just made things worse, Facepalm. It's sad to see, to be honest. I'm not the problem. The problem is that you and your buddies are so drunk on relativism that you can't get a strong footing on anything anymore. What the fuck is he talking about? If anything, we are winning W after W with everything right now. What is he? Is he delusional? As soon as... Go ahead.
Oh. No. So you asking a question. I was going to give you an answer. So relativism is so my gay ass went to school for religious philosophy. Relativism is a philosophical concept about how societal truths are subjective. So when he says you're so drunk on relativism, he's basically stating that Endymion does not accept an objective view of reality. Whether I disagree or agree with Endymion or not doesn't really matter. The fact of the matter is, I don't think Endymion is in fact, I think that Endymion is the opposite, and I think that he leans too hard into not accepting relativism.
What this is projection then from Yorch.
Yeah, exactly. Correct.
As soon as a game gets popular, you guys are too afraid.
These guys might have 100 IQ collectively.
About the wokeness because you're not conservatives. Yorch, you still have not told anyone what's woke about this. What is woke?
Well,
because
he also builds conservatism up as if conservatism is a bastion of purity. Well, guess what? Look, I don't want to upset anybody in the audience and whatnot, but I'll say it. I won't speak for Smash. It's just me. I'm not a conservative. I'm also not a liberal. I'm an anarchist. But I do remember.
Wait, he's an anarchist? What?
Because I'm old enough to remember, and it was around during those times. I remember 9/11. I remember the Bush regime. I remember the illegal wars under conservatism. I remember the weapons of mass destruction hoax and Dick Cheney running the government. Let's not pretend that conservatism is inherently moral or correct. There's corrupt no matter what side of the aisle you go to, and touting on about conservatism as if it's the objectively correct way is absolutely bananas.
No, this guy's awesome, actually. No, I'm on this guy's team.
Conservatism on paper is objectively correct. Well, communism on paper looks great as well, but it doesn't work in the real world because that's not how humans work. Humans can never do communism, just like humans can never do
hate
true conservatism.
The like communism on paper sounds awesome thing because it's like you're not saying anything there. You're like not saying anything. Also, it's not necessarily perfect on paper. What they're saying there is the promise of communism sounds really good. That's what they actually mean. Is the promise of communism sounds really good. But even on paper, you can, like, without putting it into practice, there's still theories about why communism can't or wouldn't work, right? Like the whole calculation problem thing. So, yeah, whatever, man.
Conservatism, because it goes against our very
I hate that turn of phrase. I just hate that. Oh, communism sounds great on paper. It's just an annoying, like, truism. It's just like no one ever interrogates properly.
Don't start touting your political ideology as if it has anything to do with gaming and escapism in these fictional worlds.
Yep. Nemian says, you're too deep in your own to listen to anyone else's opinion, and it's sad. Based. All you've done is ruin the image of Gamergate. You don't stand for it. You're just making things worse every time you tweet. Sad. Here's what, holy shit. This guy just wrote a fucking
you were
book.
literally lumped in. Like those homo ass, the serfs, that communist YouTube channel lumped you in with Yorch Games in a tweet earlier. Now, to be fair, I went through the comments and the majority of people were roasting them, so that's great to know. But the fact of the matter is, they still did it. The serfs don't see you and Yorch Games as any different from one another, when you could not be further from the truth, considering we are on this stream right now roasting them. But the opposition, the people that have these hundreds of thousands of followers and get these articles written about them and whatever it may be, look at you and Yorch as if you're the same, or you and JDA as if you're the same, or Hypno and Melanie Mac as if they're the same. It doesn't matter if this is not called out. People like yourself.
Who's the Hypno guy? I don't know anything about. I've seen the Hypno guy show up on my. What's his name again, dude? I can't even find him.
So things are.
This guy gets recommended to me all the time. Has he done content about this game? Oh, he's actually on board with this game. He's like, fuck Squeenix. Based. I mean, yeah, fuck Squeenix for a long time, frankly.
Nautic, to a lesser degree, myself, are going to be lumped in with these actual legitimate fascists, and it will not improve not only gaming, because it goes beyond gaming.
Dude, wait, this Leonardo guy's epic.
It's the biggest entertainment medium in the world, but this goes to culture beyond gaming. And if we're lumped in with that, then our version of what should be an acceptable culture, which is actually traditional liberalism, a colorblind society, things to that effect, is...
Dude, wait, these guys are the only true believers. Maybe I was too harsh to the human pug here. Maybe I was too harsh to the human pug. This is sounding old school Sargon to me right now. This is sounding very old school Sargon. And I'm kind of on that old school Sargon beat right now. I'm not gonna lie. I'm kind of on a, like, 2016 Sargon type beat right now. Do you know what I mean? Like classical liberalism type beat.
It's going to be thrown by the wayside.
Because it's always a grab for power. By default. Whenever things are utopia, then it becomes a grab for power. So that's why, by default, a utopia can never actually exist. Because innately, humans always want power. This, by the way, I'm reading through part of this essay that he just
type shit.
This is what breeds extremism. As I'm looking through this, this is not a conversation that Yorch Torch is trying to have with Endymion. This is engagement bait. You don't write this unless you're trying to breed extremism from someone. Like,
I'm wondering how much of it was written by fucking ChatGPT.
That too. Because when I look at this, I think immediately, wait a second, this was bait right here to get a big fish. And we got a whale, we got Endymion to quote tweet him. Then we have this conversation going on and on. He writes a book here, which I'm not going to read. And then we have us reacting to it. And then this clip's going to show up on SmashJT live clips. And then more people are going to see it. And then he's hoping to get some extremists to catch on and read this and be like, oh, wait, maybe this guy's right about what he's saying here. If it's 1 out of 1,000 people and 1 million people watch the video, then that's a lot of people that are joining his cause. You know what I mean? And I think that's what he's going for, is that percent.
The super hot button that appeals to an extreme ideology. Also, his views don't really do numbers. So what is your end game? The only thing, that's why I think there might actually be some credence to Endymion's accusation of being paid government actors. Do I think it's a
okay?
small
So I need to find videos actually seething about this game. Really,
percentage? Yes, but it's not 0%.
That's true. I'd agree with that. But yeah, I guess for this part of the situation, do you have anything more you wanted to add to it? Because
well, I would actually like to respond to a comment, and so Rick C asks, "Why are people so pissed? He thinks the game is woke." And to answer that, Rick C, I would say because woke, just like all words, have meaning. I mean, we always talk about body type A, B, gender, things like these words have meaning. You can't just say gender is a spectrum; it has meaning. Woke also, at least at one point, had meaning, and so it doesn't matter what he thinks. It matters what is. Ben Shapiro popularized it back in like 2015 or whatever. Facts don't care about your feelings. Yorch Torch Gaming and JDA and a bunch of others, Melanie Max, another one, goes on these diatribes about games having XYZ agenda in them when they literally do not. And it happens on both sides of the aisle. Like Melanie Mac claiming that insert game here is porn. When it's just women in skimpy fucking clothes. So these words have meaning. Porn has meaning. Woke
but
has
what
meaning.
they do is no different than what lefties do, where they try to warp what the meaning of the word is to fit their agenda.
We got one from
and then use that to change the rules. It's no different.
We got from
SmashJT decided
John Del Arroz. Who is this guy?
To go all in on attacking conservatives and Christians just a few months ago, and he did so because of the game Kingdom Come Deliverance 2, in which there's a graphic gay sex scene in it, and he decided to actually watch that gay sex scene, say it was great and not woke. He literally said this. This is his words.
What?
He had a whole video saying gay sex is not gay. If you want to have any kind of corporate shilling, you know exactly how this goes. This is really wild. And at that point, I was like, this is very bizarre. And instead of just talking about games and talking about gameplay, which is what we tend to do when we talk about our video game topics here on the channel, he made it very personal and started going after me personally. I think he saw some sort of clout situation here, and I don't know.
Okay, so this John Del Arroz guy, okay, it's a Twitter retard, okay, and his bio, you'll see here, it says, I became #1 best-selling author by standing for Christian values. Now, if you go to his Amazon page, you'll notice that his book is actually free. So I'm not sure that I became a best-selling author by standing for Christian values is technically true. I think what he means is I became a best-selling author by making my book free on Amazon. I think that's what he actually means by that. But
seems
whatever.
like the way he reacted, I think he was actually paid by the people at Kingdom Comes Deliverance 2 to do this. We know that a lot of these video game companies, to try to prop up their games, do pay influencers. And Ubisoft, for instance, paid $2.1 million, including paying thousands to Hassan to do these sort of things. And it seemed very coordinated at the time. Daniel Vavra, the guy from Kingdom Come Deliverance 2, who's the head of Warhorse Studios, started bizarrely personally attacking me because of my criticism of his video game, something that a SmashJT type, from where he's at, should have stood against. Anybody going and personally attacking somebody over video games, like and trying to destroy them, that's a big leftist move. That's why we're here. That's what Gamergate was all about to begin with, because when all that went down, remember, you would talk about video games and say you want ethics in gaming journalism, you want that reviews to be honest and the like, and then they'd go and try to destroy you if you were there. They'd try to completely personally destroy you in the process because of this. Well, this is what this guy did, and it was very, very suspect at the time. He was joined by a few other bad actors out there like Hypnotic Gaming, and what they did at the time was systematically go through different Christians and conservative influencers and just try to personally attack them over and over again for their own clout sort of structure here. Well, they're back again because I've started talking about a Gamergate 3 because this is really Gamergate 2.0, what they were doing.
Yeah, I'm sorry, you were just like, this is literally, it has to be pure grifting. There is no way that you are smoking crack so hard that you think there's going to be a significant Christian movement in video games. Nobody wants fucking Christian video games, bruh. Okay? Did you not figure this shit out in like the fucking 2000s with Harry Potter? Like, I'm sorry, you could sit there and cry that something doesn't have Christian values in it all you want. It's never fucking changing. And no one wants to play your gay fucking Noah's Ark video game.
while there, it seemed like they were on the side of everybody who just didn't want woke stuff in video games. And what is woke stuff in video games? Well, we don't want all the transgender, non-binary, type 1 bodies, type 2 body crap, right? We don't want all the gay crap. We don't want all the black, lesbian, disabled replacement characters, right? And this is going on across culture. It's not just video games. We've seen it in comics.
Yeah, Pokemon 1, Evolution 1, cry more. For real. For real.
We've seen it in movies. We see it in every commercial that's thrown in front of us. There's definitely a psyop going on from the left to try to diversify things. And
I play a game about Jesus if you got to play as the Romans. Oh, it's like Ethan Klein said. If Jesus Christ were here today, I'd fucking spear him! You know?
There's an objective to it. It's to erase white people. That is the thing a lot of people won't tell you. But I don't mince words here. I just tell the truth, and that's why we're growing, and that's why this movement's doing very, very well. It's also to erase men and to erase all masculinity. Masculinity is seen as toxic and a bad trait. So it's always about a female replacement and things like that. On top of this, they want to erase Christendom because Christianity was what our country was built on. That's exactly what our ethos of human exceptionalism and freedom
One of his better
clips.
clips.
Made in the image of God. And so they want that gone from the public square. People like SmashJT are, in my opinion, just leftists who have been put in here to do this kind of thing in order to
SmashJT is a leftist. Now, what?
He opens his video here where he's talking about this grifter tries to invent Gamergate 3 to sell a book, ... Now, if you look at my posts, it's not about selling books whatsoever. It's just about, hey, Gamergate 2 didn't have principles, and that's kind of why it started to fall apart and why people like this got propped up by corporations like the Embracer Group, who is...
Dude, these people are so fucking stupid. Anyone that is still falling for this shit is so dumb. The reason, quote-unquote, Gamergate 2 fell apart... When did Gamergate 2 happen? Yeah, for real. So there was never actually... I know people called the Sweet Baby stuff Gamergate 2. There was never actually Gamergate 2, and calling it that is kind of fucking retarded. Because basically all that happened is Gamergate 1... saw the rise. It was just like the rise of, like counter-signaling conservative media and gaming. That's all. Counter-signaling alternative media and gaming. That's all. That's all it was, and it's stuck around since then. It's never changed. There's always been like outrage campaigns about games being too woke and all this shit. That happens every few months, and it has done since 2014. So there was never a Gamergate 2. There will never be a Gamergate 3. Gamergate just describes like a specific moment in time and collection of scandals that showed the rise of a new way of like interfacing with people online. And that way of interfacing has never gone away. That style of outrage and back and forth wars has never gone away. It is just like the same. That is just the social media environment now. And the idea that there's ever a cohesive movement is retarded. Even in Gamergate 1, like, there are a bunch of people that thought, fucking Metica, or Internet Aristocrat as he was back then, was like going to be, oh, he's the epic Gamergate leader. Our epic Gamergate leader. Jim, you're going to lead us in Gamergate. Jim, we're going to own the libs. We're going to own the SJW. And then he was like, this shit's gay. Bye. And then Sargon tried to bring it back, and Sargon's like, Jim. Get Trump to tweet Gamergate. Any attempt to turn it into like a real movement has ended up being the most like gay, embarrassing, ridden with infighting. Like it's doomed to fail because it's a ridiculous concept. What? You're starting a movement to cry about black people being in video games. What are we doing? The only way you can stop quote-unquote wokeness being in video games is by making video games that aren't woke and having them outperform games that are woke. Okay? It's the only way you can say it's a capitalist market. Okay? The only way to change it is to demonstrate that the option you want is more profitable than the option you don't want. That's the only way.
In charge of Kingdom Come Deliverance 2. And it kind of got off track because of that. And it got these clout chasers here, the people who were trying to push YouTube drama live streams, kind of corrupted things. I've seen this before because I've seen all these movements come and go. Of course, Comicsgate did much the same thing. There were a bunch of, we were supposed to fight back against, mainstream comics and Marvel and DC and actually produce our own stuff. And then on top of that, like what happened was it devolved into YouTuber drama of people basically attacking conservatives. It's the exact same thing. So I've seen this multiple times, and I've stood the course the entire time. It's really funny. They call me a grifter, but it's like that's the opposite of what I'm doing. The funny part is these guys are actually grifting because they're all about super chats and all about that. I don't mind losing some revenue or whatever if it means telling the truth. I'm a real very principled journalist, and I know those don't exist much anymore, and that's just kind of why we're just steadily going along, and we don't have these big fake growths like some of these people do. You can see the trajectory where it's very propped up and it's very obvious at times. So that's kind of the backstory here. Now, he started attacking me personally for no reason when I was criticizing that video game. I actually liked the guy. I was like I said, a lot of this stuff, I had no problem with any of these people. I thought I was allowed to have a different opinion on a video game than other people were. That's not allowed. And this is where things started to change. It became a cult of personality around these people, and they started to dictate and gatekeep that you're allowed to like certain games or not allowed to like certain games just based on what they say, and you're not allowed to have any other opinion. I don't police other people's video games, what they like or content or anything like that. I don't care what you do. It's not my purview. However, if I see something woke in a game and if I see a corporation doing something like that, I'm going to call it out. And that is exactly what I'm here for. I'm here to fight the culture war for real. So that's the opposite of a grift, right?
Fighting the culture war. Wow. What brave soldier fighting the culture war.
Right? And so this is what these guys are doing. It's very, very sad. So I made this list, like I said, and I mentioned what the principles are at the start of this video already. We're already 5 minutes into it. And I would like you to hit the like and subscribe button. Join us if you are in on the culture war, if you want to preserve Western civilization, if you want to preserve Christian.
Guys, hit the like button if you want to preserve Western civilization. Guys, make sure you smash that like button to preserve Western civilization and white identity now. One like equals one securing a future for our people.
Christianity. If you want to preserve conservatism in America, if you're a Trump supporter, you'll probably like this channel. Now, I would say that if you're not those things, I hope you enjoy my content anyway, because I like to have dialogues and open people's minds. This is not a place where we want to purity test everybody or anything like that. That doesn't do any good. I also want you to get on my newsletter. It's in the description below. And I give you 3 free books for signing up. I'll give you a science fiction book.
3 free books to sign up to his newsletter. Oh, who can imagine how this guy became a #1 best-selling author, giving out 3 free books with his newsletter.
And a graphic novel. And this is so I can stay in touch with you guys, because it's super important, because you never know with algorithm how things go. So sign up for my newsletter. Thank you guys so much for being here and joining us. I have new books out all the time because I spend most of my time writing. That's why I'm not on these live streams. That's why these guys don't get to know me and I don't get all chummy with them, because I'm busy. I spend my time writing. I spend my time actually creating. I'm an artist at heart, and that's who I am. So nice to meet you guys. Thank you if you're new here. Appreciate it. So yeah, Smash attacked me out of nowhere, and I was actually advised at the time when this was going down, because I'm like, what's going down? This is a video game. And these people are going crazy on me. A guy named Master of the TDS, who runs a X account, who does really good work. He exposes a lot of problems with these algorithms and problems with bots and the problems with Sweet Baby Inc. He said, you know what, why don't you message SmashJT and these guys and just talk it, because you guys are on the same side and all that. And so I said, okay, I'll do that. And I did, and I messaged SmashJT, and I'm like, I don't know what's going on, but you personally attacked me, you've libeled me on your live streams. He seemed like he was drunk on those, and so I kind of forgive him for that. It is what it is. These people get drunk on live streams and do what they do. And I said, none of this stuff's true, and you need to stop saying that kind of stuff. And he came to an accord with me. It seemed okay. And so I posted, and what's interesting is because I saw the social pressure of his clout group, I posted that, hey, I talked to SmashJT, everything's good, and he liked it, and everything was good for a couple hours. Well, that tweet circulated about, and of course, I always try to talk to everybody who tries to attack me or whatever, because it's just not, I don't want to deal with the personal drama stuff. I got a real life.
Guys, there's actually a huge white race update I've just seen. Apparently, Nick Fuentes put in his Telegram group last night, "She gave my gripe a head." So now many are speculating that he has lost his virginity. Huge white race update right now, guys.
My time. And so when I did that, a couple hours later, he then made a post saying it's not good and that I'm crazy, whatever, etc. But, the opposite of what he said in the DMs there, which was like, okay, I tried. And then he just went hard and started making videos about me like this one here.
Yeah, the bros don't count.
Tries to invent Gamergate 3, right? So this is flaring up again because of a new game that's out right now. And again, this is Expedition 33. And from Expedition 33
Okay, here we go. All right, finally, we're at this point.
Like a turn-based RPG sort of thing that's strategic and cool. Apparently has really good gameplay, and I've not gotten around to it yet. And it seems to have pretty decent art design overall. It has a bunch of Ubisoft former employees involved with it. It's a French game, so it's going to have a little wokeness in it probably, right? Now, most people have not seen that in the storyline or anything like that from what I've been able to tell so far. But Yorch pointed this out here real quick. Expedition 33 reports are true. How does a game that opens in sundered early 1900s Paris, set to a beautiful French song, end up with a town full of characters straight from south of midnight?
Dude,
and what he refers to is there's random black people here, and there's random lesbians, and there's random, like diversity people. Now, this is the Netflix-style casting.
Wait, lesbians? How are we interpreting lesbians? Wait, what?
That we see all over in everything. Every single TV show now has one black person, one Asian or Hispanic or Indian person, one lesbian, one gay, and no white males who are really like strong white male leads. And so this is kind of odd that they would set something like in this kind of France fantasy deal like this. It doesn't make any sense. No society actually looks like this. Even like our modern quote society doesn't look like this. You don't have these.
Yeah, you don't have, dude. This is the thing with video games. They're not realistic. Not everything's our modern society has. They're not quite like our modern society. That's the problem with games nowadays. Is they don't really reflect modern society. Like, there's blacks everywhere. There's buildings that turn at 90-degree angles. There's lesbians. People are shooting magic out of their hands. It just doesn't even reflect modern society. It's fucking ridiculous. I'm just so sick of games these days.
Parties of 5 or 6 people that look exactly the same every single time, stamped across things. And this has been going on all the way around. Like, comics have been doing it. Of course, the movies have been doing it. We've seen the new, like, Disney, MCU crap is now, like, Muslim Ms. Marvel and Captain Marvel, she's the
Come
best
on,
lead
dude. The Muslim Miss Marvel stuff was, like, fucking 5 years ago already. Come on, get over it. Get over it, man. Nobody watched the Marvels. Nobody gives a fuck about Kamala Khan or whatever fuck her name is.
Strong female. And it goes across the line in every single film, in every single TV show, every single book, every single comic, every single video game now has this diversity casting about it. And so even if this is a good game or whatnot, it is worth pointing out that, guys, this is doing the exact same thing. And this is a French
also the character in the comics was Muslim anyway.
Product, so of course they're doing that because they love to push that agenda in France. they are very leftist in France, yes. And so I pointed out on this, people are reacting poorly to this. It shows how far the culture has fallen to the slippery slope of generic Hollywood diversity casting.
Dude, I hope Clair Obscur, fucking Expedition 33. I hope there is a new era of woke European artsy video games with epic stories, epic music, epic art. I hope all of it's woke. I hope it's filled with fucking lesbians and blacks, frankly. I hope it's fucking filled with them. I hope they'll have subtle, liberal and progressive political messaging too, in fact. I hope that they irritate you with the fact that you can detect that somewhere in there's criticism of your beliefs and your character.
You don't even notice it anymore because it's in everything, and that's not a good thing. And that's exactly what's going on, and that's exactly what we're trying to do here, is change this. Because, he says it's grifting, but the whole point is not to make a few bucks off this. It doesn't matter whether somebody sends me a super chat or not. I don't really stream. It doesn't matter whether somebody buys my $3 book on Amazon or not. Not a big deal. And most of my sales, believe it or not, just come from the Amazon algorithm, which is its own thing. So if you don't know how Amazon works, Amazon is basically pay to play at this point. And so you set up a bunch of ads.
Dude, what is this shit?
Amazon is basically pay to play at this point.
Justified. The Saga of the Nano Templar, a military science fiction conquest tale. With, I assume, is this AI?
Point. And so you set up a bunch of ads, and Elon is basically pay to play at this point. And so you set.
Dude, this looks like shit. That looks like absolute shit.
Set up a bunch of ads, and you end up being in different spots on here. So products related to this item, these are all paid ads right here. So when you're scrolling through this through this stuff, you'll see other stuff coming up. You see that like Justified, which is my book. I have my other 2 books coming up because I've
For Steam and Country. Oh my. Stars entwined. Dude.
I've targeted an SEO Justified so that my books come up right away on that, right? And so that's very important. So when you could do to any search like this too, you have sponsored product ads come up right here. So look at this, sponsored. This is, I mean, for organic super grain. So, I mean, I don't know why that's coming up on this, but it is. So this is what Amazon is, and I'd say 90% of my book sales and the like come from my robust Amazon ads. I actually spend hours every day programming more ads to get going. I sell a few from YouTube here and there, but it's not like anything at all. It's ridiculous to say that there's any kind of grift here. I'm not really making money off this. I'm doing this for the culture war. That's the entire purpose of my being here. And so I made this post about
how bad do you think these books are? How bad do you think these are? They've got how overt do you think the political stuff in them is? I almost want to read one, you know?
The culture war, like I said, and so Gamergate 2 failed because they called wokeness not woke if it was popular, and that seems to be the thing. They've created games that they say are popular or not, and then they go out there and they say, you know, whether it's woke or not, it is just totally based on that. It's interesting that SmashJT didn't open on this or anything like that. He just says that he doesn't get along with me or whatever. That's entirely one-sided. I had no issue with this guy. Like I said, he just started coming at me, making nasty personal attacks, and it's absurd because in theory we want the same things, which is wokeness out of video
Imagine
games, right?
seething because fucking SmashJT owned you. Imagine SmashJT makes a personal attack on you, and you're like, I can't believe this guy made a personal. This guy looks like a pug and almost died to a scooter. He almost died coming off of a scooter, and not like a Vespa scooter either. I don't think, like just an electric scooter.
We can disagree on, like, you know, if he thinks that that this game's great and wants to play it or whatever, God bless. I don't have a problem with that. What he has a problem with is I'm not, me or Yorch or whatever is not allowed to criticize it at this point. We're not allowed to notice that it has this Hollywood casting, and we're not allowed to talk about it. Otherwise, they have to try to personally destroy us. What's that sound like? That sounds like leftism, right? And that's exactly what's going on here. And that's what I've seen with SmashJT is he always defends the corporate leftist stuff that's kind of popular, right? And there's no value structure for it except for, hey, what can I get clicks? Like I said, he's the actual grifter here for sure in this situation, which is pretty funny. And so you look at this stuff, it's like, well, what does he stand for? Well, he stood for Kingdom Come Deliverance to gay sex. He says that he has no problem with transgenderism and that he supports it. He has said this. These are tweets he's actually made. So it's like, well, what's the difference between him and Kotaku then? Because that's what they want in video games, right? And so this is why I said it's time for Gamergate 3 to make it explicitly right-wing, otherwise it turns to shit. And that's what I've always said, is anything not explicitly right-wing does always turn to shit, right? So I said some more about this. We talked about the principle. We have pros, diversity, equity, and inclusion, critical race theory in video games. Again, he should agree with this if he's really anti-woke. That is anti-wokeness, right? This is the most important part of art, and I put Kim Belair from Sweet Baby Inc. there because that's what she's all about. So if he agrees with what she agrees with, then he's not on the right side of this. We have no tolerance for pronoun
You're
BS,
on the wrong
right?
side,
We want
buddy.
male and female. We don't want the non-binary stuff in there. I think this is stuff most people agree with. We have no tolerance for promotion of evil LGBTQ lifestyles. It's degenerate. It has no place in
No, that's not. I don't think that's what most people are on board with. People hate the woke modern concept of non-binary and shit being in their games. But most of these guys are like fucking, they're perfectly fine if there's like a trap character, right? Like they all freaked out over what was that Guilty Gear character that's like meant to be a trap but then got turned into a trans. And like obviously everyone, you know, myself included, I say everyone that's played Persona 4 that isn't a total trans slur, insert trans slur here, freak. Anyone that's played Persona 4 is holding the line firm and saying, I will riot if Atlas trans Naoto. If Atlas fuck with Naoto, I will riot. So they're fine with like some, you know, gay shit in their games, but it's just like not everything has to be the exact perfect modern liberal progressive version of transgender and non-binary gender identities, right? That's the problem, is when everything has to perfectly fit within that box. When that's not, like, throughout human history, that has not been the only way of looking at, like, non-typical gender expression, right? That has not been the only way of looking at it. But the idea is that because that is so popular now, because that is seen as the correct way of looking at it now, that has to be basically retrofitted onto all other media. Which is like, no, that kind of ruins a lot of the interesting parts of this stuff. Like that's the interesting part of Naoto's character, is the whole story of, like, you know, she's a girl but wants to be in the police but isn't taken seriously as a girl, so pretends to be a boy. Right? That's a key part of the character. And if you undermine that, it does kind of totally ruin it.
Want male and female. We don't want the non-binary stuff in there. I think this is stuff most people agree with. We have no tolerance for promotion of evil LGBTQ lifestyles. It's degenerated. It has no place in gaming, right? Porn should be banned. Above all, it's only all of the above only exists because of pornography. And if you look at this type of stuff, it all comes back to that. And because everybody gets desensitized, they then push into things. And that's exactly what this agenda is. It's about desensitizing.
There was Star Wars analysis on Parry's stream. That's where you missed it. We were talking about how Episode 8 is overhated and how Vito's video on it is fucking terrible.
You to all this stuff so that they can replace white people in this instance, right? Or then they can put their next sexual perversion in there, that they can groom children. That's really where the next step is in all of this, right? And so that's exactly what we talk about in terms of this stuff. No tolerance for feminism. Feminism leads to equivocation and pushing of leftist agendas through emotional nonsense. And then we're inherently Christian right-wing because these values are good. We want to promote good in the world. And without objective morals, you cannot have good, period. So very simple stuff. And he took exception to it, I guess. I mean, he made this whole video throwing a fit about me like he always does. He's been on X just throwing a fit about Yorch, Torch, and me. And then, of course, it's been some weird stuff. Even Endymion kind of got in on this tweet because they wanted to virtue signal against what Yorch Torch said here, which is weird because if he just noticed that there's a diversity issue with a game, why isn't he allowed to have that opinion? Are you guys being paid or something like that? I don't understand. Like, let people have opinions on video games. That's the whole point of what we're trying to do here. So that's what's going on today. It's interesting stuff. I like I said, I try not to give it too much credence, but I did want to highlight my actual Gamergate 3 sort of things because I think we do need to build a movement with real values and with realness to it that is absolutely opposed to woke. And I'm glad you guys are here, and I hope you discover us.
Well, I'm no closer to understanding quite what's woke about Expedition 33. It's like a fantasy world, and there's a couple of black people. It's like there's not even that many black people. There's like one black guy you meet in the intro, and then the moment the intro's over, he fucking dies. Like, it's just like I can't get it. I can't understand it. He's literally like, he's a black guy who is basically a Star Trek red shirt. You know? That's basically what he is. He just goes in and dies. And that's it. It's like the most black character of all black characters. So I don't understand the argument.